You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, ground and pound that like button. And as always, thank you guys and gals for supporting our channel. We're going to talk about Lia Thomas. One of her teammates has come out and has slammed that NCAA national championship he, let's be real, Will Thomas, won during competition, tainting that NCAA swimming championship. Of course, Will Thomas, biological male, now known as Lia, took that title. Now, one of her teammates have come out and blasted that title in light of the ruling that FINA is going to essentially ban transgenders like Lia Thomas. Now, we've been very vocal. I've made a ton of Lia Thomas videos on this channel, and I've been very vocal about the unfair competitive advantage. And one of the things we've never even brought up is the fact that there's a height issue, there's a arm length issue, there's a hand size issue, especially when it comes to a sport like swimming. Okay, never mind the fact that, frankly, we were just worried about some woman, some female, being Ivan Drago / Apollo Creed, if you know what I mean. You've seen Rocky IV and know how that ended up. We were worried about that as we started seeing that ooze into sports like MMA. Alana McLaughlin, look it up, okay? Ex-Army Ranger taking on females, a dude, okay? Despicable, absolutely despicable. Well, now we have this, and I got to tell you, it's absolutely what needs to happen. It is absolutely what needs to happen. Lia Thomas should be stripped of that NCAA national championship. Lia Thomas, teammate, competitor, blast title as illegitimate in wake of FINA transgender restrictions. Daily Wire. A former teammate of Lia Thomas, along with a rival team member who once tied with Thomas, blasted the transgenders college swimmers championship title as illegitimate after swimming's international governing body, FINA, issued stringent new restrictions on transgender swimmers. On Monday, FINA released, quote, gender inclusion policy that allows only transgender swimmers who transition from male to female before the age of 12 to compete in women's events. Quote, I'm very hopeful about it. Thomas' teammate, who was granted anonymity out of the fear of backlash, said of the new restrictions, I am incredibly happy that Lia Thomas will never be an Olympic gold medalist. I think we are. I think that's great. But it doesn't actually fix the NCAA. She told the Daily Wire. Thomas, 22, competed on the men's team at the University of Pennsylvania before coming out as a transgender in 2019 and starting testosterone blockers and estrogen. Last year, Thomas competed on the women's team, sparking national debate. In March, Thomas won the NCAA Division I National Championship after winning the women's 500-yard freestyle event. The NCAA's current policy allows for biological males to compete on women's teams after completing just 1 year of testosterone suppression and treatment. We all know after you go through puberty, everything that happens that eventually leads a male to be physically superior to a female. We all know biologically. Thomas' teammate said she, quote, would love for the NCAA to rescind Thomas's championship title, although she doubts it will happen. Even if the NCAA follows FINA's lead and restricts transgender athletes on women's teams, Thomas will likely be, quote, grandfathered in. That's repugnant. The teammate said, adding that she finds that, quote, ridiculous. Riley Gaines, a University of Kentucky swimmer, tied Thomas for fifth in the 200-yard freestyle final at the NCAA championship in March. She left the competition that day with a sixth-place trophy after the NCAA decided to give Thomas the fifth-place trophy. Quote, I believe Leah is not the fastest female in the 500-yard freestyle. Therefore, I don't think she should be awarded as female national champion. She told the Daily Wire. Gaines said the NCAA, quote, needs to take accountability, follow FINA's lead on restricting transgender athletes on women's teams, which she called, quote, a bold first step on behalf of fairness for women's sports. FINA prioritized competitive fairness, which is more than any other large governing body has done thus far. Gaines said, adding that she appreciated that FINA took into account science and perspective of other athletes. Quote, the only downfall is now there is a set age to be transgender and allowed to compete as female. Will children be more swayed into transitioning without fully understanding what they're doing and committing to? I tend to agree with that. Actually. My God, I hope that doesn't happen. Thomas' teammate, who spoke with the Daily Wire, also praised FINA for listening to the science, but voiced a similar concern that young swimmers could be pushed into transitioning early. Quote, the boys are actually slower than the girls under the age of 12. So scientifically speaking, that is actually the correct year to pick, she said. Socially, I don't agree with that. I think really scientifically this policy makes a lot of sense, and I'm also really happy that it's also going to be put in place in water polo. Water polo is a very aggressive sport. People get their suits pulled down. They get clawed. I definitely don't want to see biological men on women's water polo teams. Thomas' teammate also said that she shared the locker room with Thomas, and while they were on the team together, and she is concerned about the larger issue of biological men in female-only spaces. It's disgusting. She added that just because Thomas did not win every single event does not mean the national champion did not enjoy an unfair advantage. Quote, there have been a lot of athletes that have been caught doping, and they didn't necessarily win gold, Thomas' teammate said. So, look, I think that's fair. I think in light of these rulings, number one, the NCAA needs to absolutely follow suit of FINA, and they need to strip Leah Thomas of that NCAA title. Give it to the swimmer that placed second in that event, and so on and so forth down. It's only fair because of the work, the money, work, coaching, everything that's put in by these female swimmers to go out and compete at the highest level in college, and Leah Thomas stole that from them. Stole it. It's despicable. I continue to contend I don't know how that dude can look at himself in the mirror. What have you accomplished exactly? You went out and as a male and dominated females. It's disgusting. I don't get that. I don't get it. I mean, it's the same thing as Megan Rapinoe going out there and running her mouth and everybody praising that women's soccer team when they once got the brakes beat off of them by what, 15-year-old boys? Same kind of thing, okay? Fact is, look, teen boys and men are going to be more dominant than a lot of women when we're talking about the same sport, and if there's any kind of actual skill level there at all. I think it was a Dallas team, a local Dallas high school age team that went out and beat the Women's World Cup team. Think about that, okay? So you get the point. And again, I think there's a safety issue because this stuff was going to start moving straight into the MMA, and like it already has, if it can get sanctioned, and it was going to get into boxing at some point too. It was going to get dangerous. Wrestling is another one. Think about it. Tell me what you think. Absolutely strip Leah Thomas of that national title. It's tainted right now. Plain and simple. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.